Welcome back, guys. In this video, we're going to talk about the deep psychological reason of why you want to fail. That's right, you want to fail. There's a story that you tell yourself of what's going on, and then there's the story of what's actually going on. And it's why, talking about New Year's still, you may not follow through with your New Year's resolution. Talked about last week, you may not have enough discipline. That's not true, though. You have plenty of discipline. It's about the anxiety covering up the discipline. We get rid of that. There's plenty of discipline there, a huge reservoir of discipline. And another reason why you may fail is because you want to fail. You don't want what you say you want. What you really want is a secondary emotional payoff. The story you tell yourself and the story, that's what's actually going on. You say you want A, B, or C, but really you want to fail, so your body goes into this state that you crave, and that's really why you say you want A, B, and C. You don't really want it. You want certain emotional experiences that you've become used to, that maybe you've even become addicted to. I mean, it's like if there was a corrupt police officer. You know, on one level, he says he's trying to fight crime and protect the law, but on the other level, he's getting kickbacks. He's getting, whatever funds from mobster organization. And that's how your mind works, except the only difference is you don't know you're doing it. Well, so I guess if this analogy carries over, you are the police administrator, whoever that is, the police chief, and you don't know that a cop is corrupt, and you're looking like, why aren't we getting the bad guys? It's because you don't really want to get the bad guy. You need to bring awareness to the corrupt police officer so you can be on the course of getting what you really want. So why do you want to fail? Well, here's our four secondary emotional payoffs that I see. You want to fail because you want to lay low. I mean, that's one reason. You set a goal out and you say, whatever it is, lose weight, get a girlfriend, get more money. But what happens when you lose weight, get a girlfriend, or get more money? What happens when you're successful? People start to notice you, and it can be uncomfortable when people notice you. So if you're not comfortable with people noticing you because you have anxiety, because there's a part of yourself that you don't want people to see, and on one level you'll say, oh yeah, I want to get a girlfriend, or I want to make more money. But what happens when you start making more money is people notice you, and people notice you, they may even criticize you. That's what's ultimately behind the fear of success. Not that you're afraid of the success, but with status comes anxiety. And if you already have enough anxiety on your gamma, maybe delta level, then you'll tell yourself you want a girlfriend, but really you want to lay low. And what happens when you lay low? You can isolate, you can be alone, you're cut off from the world, you're not challenged in any way, there's no intimacy. And what comes with intimacy is people see you. People may even see parts of you that you don't want to see. So you want to make more money, but if you want to really isolate deep down, Netflix, Oreos, any sort of binge, that's really what you want, and why you'll never make money until you handle this issue. And then what happens when we isolate is we get self-righteous. We tell ourselves how awesome we are and how horrible everybody else is, how nobody's smart enough to see all the value we have. The reason I'm a failure, the reason things aren't going well in my life, is because nobody's smart enough. There we go, you're self-righteous. Look at all those idiots out there. And then with self-righteousness, I guess that's a kind of victimhood, but really victimhood is at the root of a lot of this. You want to feel like a victim, you want to feel helpless, you want to go on YouTube and look at all those conspiracy theories about how everybody is out to get you, how the society is set up for you to fail. Or look at asteroid impact theories, and there's going to be an asteroid that hits Earth probably soon, so let's not even try. This is this decision that we make, a helpless, powerlessness kind of decision that we make with anxiety when we don't know how to manage it. I mean, the idea of a secondary emotional payoff really became in our cultural forefront. We became aware of it culturally this past week. There we go. When that leaked Louis C.K. Routine was leaked. The leaked routine was leaked. And on both sides, on the left and the right, we all got our secondary emotional payoff from commenting on it. The left played the victim, right? They were self-righteous. They're like, oh, you can't make fun of, trans kids or those Parkland shooting kids, whatever happens to be. You can't punching down, playing the victim, self-righteous, telling themselves how bad Louis C.K., how bad he must be, how bad of a person he must be to make jokes like that. That was the left. And the right, you're not getting off here. You played the victim too because you looked at the left's response to it and said, oh, PC culture is ruining comedy. You can't be a good comedian anymore with this PC culture. There we go. You got your victimhood. You got your self-righteousness. You isolated. You had this conversation in your head. You didn't go talk with somebody about it. Another way of laying low. You got your payoff. Why is there a cultural divide in America right now? Why aren't we talking with each other? To the extent that that's true, I don't even know if it is really. But why? How could that be true if that does happen to be true? Because we want a secondary emotional payoff. Same reason why you're going to fail in your New Year's resolution. We don't want to talk with each other. We don't want to have a conversation. We want to have a conversation. We want to be informed to the point where we get this, the hit of this, and then whatever. Why would I want to get along with somebody because then I couldn't get that? And yeah, that's a good way to think about this. I mean, emotion. This is an emotional payoff. I know I brought this up before, but emotions, they're chemicals. They are chemicals in our brain. And you know what else is a chemical? Drugs, alcohol, the way that those affect our brain. That gives our brain a certain hit of chemicals. We become addicted to drugs, and we become addicted to this. I mean, you look at a heroin addict, you look at their life, and their life doesn't make any sense. What they do and how they do it, it's just extremely chaotic. But then you put heroin in there and you go, oh, now it makes sense. You sabotage your life so you can get this drug, so you can get this particular emotional payoff. You look at somebody who's failed over and over again, not really going anywhere in their life. I guarantee you, I mean, we all have this to some degree. Everybody listening, you have a secondary emotional payoff. This includes me. I'm listening to me. Life may not make a lot of sense, but then you insert a certain secondary emotional payoff. However you feel when you isolate, when you're self-righteous, when you feel like a victim. These are my words. You take these words, you use your own words, explicate it, get as nuanced in your emotional experience as best you can. And that's how we bring awareness to your life. Go, oh, your life doesn't make sense, but you want this emotional payoff. Oh, now it makes sense. And this isn't a simile. I'm not saying a secondary emotional payoff is like a heroin addict, an addiction. It is literally, and I'm using that term literally. That's what is going on. This is your heroin. This is your opiate. Before we had the opiate epidemic, we had the self-pity, isolate, self-righteous, nobody understands me epidemic. The opiate epidemic, that's just a symptom. We're not looking at the causes. So how do we manage this? Well, anxiety, right? Why do we cut ourselves off? Because we don't want to see the threats coming in. We look at ourselves. We look at ourselves, how we feel when we're alone, when we're isolating, and we get really honest. And we know it doesn't feel good when we do this, but it's not about feeling good, right? Go back to my video about increasing pleasure versus decreasing pain. Decreasing pain, that's what this is. Big difference from increasing pleasure, which would be achieving your New Year's resolution, A, B, and C. You may not even know what that feels like, so you're not even sure what you're going for, right? But it all starts with this. When we manage our anxiety, when we look at the threats coming in, what are we avoiding? When we create secure attachments, we're bringing our unconscious up, seeing ourselves, we're seeing other people see us, psychic objectivity. We're seeing our story. We are identifying ourselves in other people. That is how we bring this up. And then we're going to bring awareness to the secondary emotional payoff, just more awareness, more nuanced understanding of the emotion that we're going for, our addiction. And then it'll take care of itself. You will set a goal. You don't even have to set goals. Maybe you still will, I don't know, but it won't even be that important for you. You just think of things you want, and then you go, well, I got to do whatever to get it, and now I'm just going to go do it, and then I get it. And you're also not setting ridiculous goals. That's another way to get a secondary emotional payoff. Just set a stupid goal that you're not even close, to getting, and then, okay, well, that's another way to fail, right? You're creating a New Year's resolution, so you're going to fail so you can get this because that's what you ultimately want. Please like and subscribe. Tell a friend. More importantly, though, work on yourself. Manage your anxiety. Go back to my lectures on anxiety. Manage your anxiety until what you want to do really is what you want to do.